And now we're on to the world of extreme sports. Rather than tackling other series like BMX and snowboarding, I'm instead going to tackle the king of extreme sports, skateboarding legend, Tony Hawk, with his title from 2015? Pro Skater 5. When starting up the game, I tried to see if I can customize my own skater. I wasn't able to find it and was pretty surprised that having a customizable skater was excluded from the game. Oh well, let's just jump straight to it. A lot of these levels are locked, so I guess my only choice is the barracks. This is quite the lengthy loading screen. Oh, for Christ's sake, come on already! Couldn't join online session. Oh, did I accidentally press online play? That doesn't sound right. Let's try that again. What? Is playing this game dependent on online servers? It doesn't say that on the box, so what the hell? I managed to get some gameplay in by playing the tutorial, but when I tried to do anything else, it wouldn't let me. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. It's literally unplayable. Well, I guess that's that then for Tony Hawk. I'll see you next week. No. I can't end it like that. Regardless of whether I can play it or not, Pro Skater 5 was still a game that was received negatively. Based on what I read, Activision was dropping the series, so they rushed this project out before the deal expired, and now we have this. The voted worst game of 2015. But even though that plan failed, don't worry, I have a backup. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. This seems like a weird way to market your game. Imagine if instead of Mario Party 7 we got Mario Party 2 squared plus 3. Oh well, Pro Skater 3 came out 2 years ago and was a remaster of a classic Tony Hawk game. And the game let me customize a character, so it's already doing a better job than 5. So the point of the game is to pull out some pretty rad-tacular skate moves to get the highest score. Jumping into Pro Skater, our only option was the warehouse. And oh my Tony Hawk, the game actually loaded. Our mission here is to skate around performing tricks while also accomplishing other tasks like smashing boxes, collecting the 5 letters to create skate, collect the hydrants, find a secret tape, and ollie the big rail. And you gotta do all that within a strict time limit. I can see the fun that can be had while doing all this. Problem is, I suck at doing all this. The controls are definitely not the easiest to get the hang of for newcomers. Remembering all the buttons that can make combos and then properly setting up the landing is definitely something I feel like the experience of playing older Tony Hawk games could have helped. Sometimes I just end up pulling off a trick and not understanding how I managed to do that. But when I intentionally try to perform a trick, I end up failing, which wouldn't be too bad, but considering that I'm always on a skateboard that's always on the move, it gets hard to get in proper position to execute whatever jump I'm trying to make. Now while I think it's cool how the game gives you these massive playgrounds to explore and mess around in, it kinda gets lonely out here and a bit eerie really. Kinda like the Langoliers, and that right there is a great 90s reference. There are some of these cars driving around that we can pull tricks off of, but I don't know, they're not making me feel any better. I want to do a free skate to get a better grasp on the controls and the gameplay, or at the very least get some kind of fun out of the game. I managed to do a jump over a train, that was kinda cool, but I don't know, me trying to force some kind of joy here is reminding me of Desmond from Smiling Friends. The game's really not for me. And that sucks, I was really hoping to get into the franchise, but I think me not growing up with the older games makes it difficult. So let's try to change that. Tony Hawk's Underground. You know, it's weird, I know for a fact I've never played this game before, yet I'm still feeling some kind of sense of nostalgia for it. It's weird. Man, I'm actually pretty excited to pop out the GameCube. It's been a while. I wonder if I'll get hit with any sentimental feelings. So unlike Pro Skater where you just kind of skate around earning points, Underground is kind of more of a sandbox type game. We customized George who lives in a dump called New Jersey. Yep. Where the only bright side is that it has some pretty killer skate spots. I'm already liking this game a lot more than Pro Skater because this town we're moving around in has so much life and character to it. Plus, George isn't glued to the skateboard. He can dismount it and run around and jump across rooftops as he pleases. Hell, we can even drive cars. What we do here in Underground is find NPCs who have missions for us and accomplish said missions. Or we can just freely roam around the map running over pedestrians, kinda like GTA. Oh wait, this game is rated T. Kinda like Bully. The story here is that George is trying to get out of the town, which seems impossible because anytime I try to leave the town myself, I magically teleported back into it. Sorry George, you're stuck here. His method of escape though is by becoming a legendary skateboarder, and he does this by trying to impress famous skaters that have come into the town. Now the Tony Hawk gameplay though, it's still not working out for me. Don't get me wrong, the game definitely was easier to pick up as rather than having a tutorial that drops a bunch of information on you and you become dependent on whatever sticks. Here the game starts you off with the basics, and when you're ready to expand your trick list you can find a guy offering lessons, learn the trick, master it, use it for missions, and then find another guy for another new trick. I was making it work, but eventually I ran into a trick that I just couldn't pull off. And when I was given a mission to hop across an alley, it was so hard to pull off because of how jerky the skating can be. I was feeling the game, but trying to do this mission for 15 minutes kinda killed it for me. But that still doesn't change the fact that I still like Underground more than Pro Skater. But I'm not done playing this game because I do see the potential of how much fun I can have with it, but I'm still not feeling that Tony Hawk magic. I was gonna give up there, until I walked up to my Wii shelf and discovered I do have another Tony Hawk game. Downhill Jam.
Are you ready?
No. While playing through the tutorial of Downhill Jam, I actually remembered how I came across this game. One time I was at a used video game store and they were selling this game for $2. And at that point, I don't care what game it is. If it costs less than Twizzlers, I'm buying it. Anyway, Downhill Jam is a racing game. You compete with a bunch of different skaters to reach the bottom of these hills. And you know what? Hell yeah, I can actually work with this. The controls are actually pretty simple. When I saw that I had to tilt the Wii remote to control George, it actually made me miss the gimmicky Wii days. Ah, what a great console. Anyway, the game isn't dependent on you knowing a million tricks to get through it. You can just kind of roll downhill, but you should try to pull off tricks because they can give you quite the boost. Another neat thing here is they can punch and kick pedestrians and other racers out of the way, and that's pretty fun too. Sadly, Downhill Jam wasn't well received by critics or Tony Hawk fans. Maybe it's because Downhill Jam wasn't like the other Tony Hawk games that are more skill-based and is instead simply just a, oh, let's go left or right. But you know what? Damn it, I like it. Downhill Jam is my favorite Tony Hawk game. Well, that's 4 Tony Hawk games covered, and gotta say, really not my bread and butter. I did really enjoy playing Downhill Jam, but it's not really a Tony Hawk game. I was enjoying Underground, but it didn't really hit me with that Tony Hawk magic. Pro Skater 1 plus 2? Yeah, I know it's not 3. Wasn't the most welcoming experience for me. I feel like this game was made as an apology to hardcore fans for the previous installment, which happened to be Pro Skater 5. I'm glad this game didn't work, because apparently it was pretty bad. I would have liked to give the game a try, but that's not really an option. The game doesn't work. Its only use is as a snow shovel. And not even then.